Welcome my favourite M-words. Message to all my cuzzy ebos out there. Just wanted to warn you about the way life goes with things such as clickbait on videos these days. There'll be a lot of stuff like "you won't believe this," or "I can't believe this is happening now," or "I quit," or "everything they told you about X is a lie," or things like "things you should know before you die," "things you should do before you die," "you won't believe what they did next," all that kind of stuff. They've used it with like the old tabloids of women's weeklies and all that kind of stuff. Now they're doing it on YouTube and just about every other thing you see. And another thing they'll do is they'll give some information about COVID, for example, and underneath the actual video, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to put a little grey box underneath, especially the New Zealand government, which said, hey, if you want some real news about COVID, well, go to our government website, as if you can actually trust that government website over what you see and hear on YouTube. Now, that may be right, who knows, but the fact is that if someone's trying to get you to listen to something, whether it's clickbait with all those titles I talked about before, or even myself, there's always an agenda. Now, you've got to try and work out whether that agenda is going to be enriching for your life or other people's lives, or if it's purely just that they're afraid of something that you're going to know, so they want you to sort of unknow it. This is your dear old dad speaking, 53 years old, almost half a century old, been through a few pandemics now, and seen a few world wars. Even though they don't call them world wars, they call them just scuffles, but hey, people die, babies die, they're world wars in my head. But the biggest war that is going on at the moment is the war inside your brain, and the rest of the world is trying to get at it. So they're trying to suppress it. They're trying to have an agenda for it. Even your own father, i.e. me, has got an agenda, and my agenda is to make you a well-rounded, caring human being who is able to fight for himself when the time is to fight, but able to listen as well when the time's to listen, to have compassion for others, but not so much that it destroys your own soul, but to critically look at people's lives, and your own, and your dad's, and your mum's, to see if what they are doing is indeed hindering or helping them. Look, I'm 53 years old almost, and I still haven't sussed out how to actually live that life, but man, I'm trying. And I see it every day. I read things like, for example, maybe I had this as a little bit after the video, but there's a woman who was saying how in her childhood her parents took her around the world in a sailing yacht, which sounds freaking awesome to me. And she was bumming out about not having the friends and all this kind of stuff, and being kind of almost locked into this yacht. And she'd come into ports and at customs offices and that kind of thing, never cared about the welfare of her. They probably did, but they probably just thought, hey man, not my business, I'm not the parent. And I thought about it for a little bit, and I thought, well, yeah, she's kind of probably right that it does suck not having friends and just being cooped up on a vessel for your younger life. But you think of the goodness that happened. You've got to look for the good in life, like, I know there's some terrible things that have happened to people, some stuff they can't recover from, like they're dead or they've been like maimed, but you've got to look at the positive, man, no matter where you are. And I kind of thought, at least she didn't get exposed to the crap on TV, shouldn't get exposed to a lot of the shitty teaching systems that are out there, or have been out there back in the old days, where they try and indoctrinate you to become a slave or to go after their own agenda. So look at those positives, man. And I agree that girl probably had a whole lot of hardship, but man, it probably set her up for a good life. I hope. It'd be interesting. I don't know what she's done now. I have to get her name. I might try and post it on the screen. There's also another chick from the Netherlands who, I don't know, she's about 16 or something when she started to sail around the world in a little boat called the Guppy, and it ended up in Whangarei, not far from here. And I would say she had a really cool experience, because it was kind of like, okay, her parents might have pushed her into it, but then again, maybe it was her own doing. I'd love to sort of have an interview with her one day if you're out there, and just see how you got on. And what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, if you have a life where the life you live is kind of forced by others, where it's a government, your husband, your wife, your kids even, your teacher or whatever, that can suck unless you've got buy-in. But at the same time, whatever has happened to you in your decision making there, you've got to take some kind of responsibility to think, man, okay, I was under 14 or 18 or 22, whatever age is a good age to actually go and live your life. Like, I kind of felt I got born at 22, and some people think they got that at 15 or something. What I'm trying to say is that you've got to take responsibility and ask yourself, man, so where do I come in now? So, yep, I had this hard life. How do I make it different for others and myself? Yeah, so that's my little thought for today. I'm going to leave it there. I'll try and report back if there's anything else that's interesting.